Hi, so I'm Kristin Nelson, here to talk about the video. So in the teacher video that I watched, first thing I would start off with her is praising. I use Bambrick 6 steps. I use the blueprint all the time. So that was great. So I'm already familiar with that. The praising. I think I would praise her definitely for the use of the big book, the big pictures, the colorful pictures. Also, I would in the praise, I would definitely mention when she gave the assignment, she gave a visual of what she expected when the assignment is done and turned in. I thought those were two very good things, that visual cue. Probing questions, I would ask her, what did she picture that looking like when she planned? What was it that she was imagining that the whole scenario would look like? And talk to her maybe about her expectations. Did she think it went well? Just her interpretation of the whole thing. Or were there parts that were frustrating? Were there parts that were unexpected and didn't quite go like she thought? So those are things that I would ask her kind of in a probing way, just to kind of get where she was. Partner with her on that one. IDing the problem. She is definitely a phase 1 in that blueprint, a phase 1 teacher. And so I would start there, especially with the routines and procedures. I think that is the part that was missing. And I think some of the other issues that happened kind of all stem from not having routines and procedures, which is that very first one. I think she can also work on the standing when she gives directions, those type of things. But if I was talking to her, that would be the one problem that I would ID, that I think we would start as routines and procedures. Now, the concrete action steps, I think the planning moment by moment in a routine, get a routine. How is that going to look? Ideally, that would have been done beforehand, but that's okay. I would partner with her, work with her on planning a moment by moment routine of how she's picturing and what should happen. I would also, I think another action step that I would put down is to writing out what everyone does. What is the teacher supposed to do? What are the children supposed to do? Anybody else that's involved? What is supposed to happen at each step of the plan? So you have an idea. You're not just guessing. You have, and not just in your head, you have it written, but make an action plan. You write it out with everyone involved and what it should look like. Again, another visual. I'm big on visuals. The last thing is I would tell her or suggest to her to model for her students. So practice this before you need it. Practice it on a day-to-day basis. So any transitions, in this particular, maybe a circle time transition, maybe a routine when the kids are starting to get disengaged, hand signals, hand claps, all types of things that she and I could partner with and suggest. But those are the 3 action steps definitely to start. Planning moment by moment, writing down what everyone is supposed to do, and then practicing and modeling with the students before you need them to do that. I think then she and I would have a practice thing. So we would practice the routine, get the routine down, collaborate on that, partner on that with her, brainstorm, get a template and have her write down everything. So again, it's not a guessing game. You're not throwing it together. This is just part of what you do, and it's written out. Very easy cues. Maybe you have on the board or on paper. Anyway, something for the kids to visually see as well. And then role play with her again before we ever get in front of the kids. Role play and get the kinks out, get comfortable with that routine before you're trying to teach it and model it to for the kids. Also, practicing multiple scenarios. So what happens? Have a plan. What happens if this doesn't go like you thought? Or what happens if this happens and that's not what you expected? Have some multiple scenarios that happen. Anyway, and kind of brainstorm about that. Plan ahead. Be intentional about the what ifs. Also, if it goes well, what are you going to do? Those kids need to hear that too. So she and I would partner together on how she would do that fits her personality and fits her classroom. Planning ahead. How are you going to get that routine into your plans? All right. So it's an intentional teaching of the routine. For follow-up, I would give her a few days to practice this, practice the things that we came up with, practice those ideas, find the ones that are going to work with her class, give her a few days. And then I would come back to do, to observe with some immediate feedback, right? So in the moment, we would have it set up beforehand, some visual cues I could give if it looks like something's kind of going awry, but have that again as a partner, not as a, dictating or judging, but partnering with her. And then I would schedule within a week. Again, this is all depending on everyone's schedules, but I like quick, immediate, not immediate maybe, but quick feedback. I think that's the most helpful. I also think that these routines and procedures, you're not practicing something that's not working. And so it's that timeliness of doing that. So I would plan that out with her as well. Again, I'm a partnering type of coach. I realize there are other personalities, but using those blueprints, I'm a big believer in those. And so those are the things that I would work with her on and I would talk to her about and get her input. Thank you. Thank you for the opportunity.